Have you ever felt that your relationship is being driven by emotions, especially in stressful moments? Feelings of frustration, hurt, or anxiety can make it easy to lose control, causing the relationship to become tense and strained. But how can you maintain calm when emotions run high? In every relationship, whether it's love, friendship, or family, emotions can be a double-edged sword. They can create deep connections, but can also destroy a relationship if not properly managed. And when emotions overpower reason, we are more likely to react in ways we might later regret. So, how can we maintain peace during these emotionally intense moments? In this article, we will explore strategies to stay calm in emotionally charged situations by applying Stoicism, an ancient yet incredibly powerful philosophy, alongside principles from modern psychology. You will learn how to face emotions and keep your relationship strong despite the challenges. We all know that emotions can be a deciding factor in a relationship. They make conversations deeper and can create unbreakable bonds. However, when emotions take over, we can easily make impulsive decisions or overreact, leading to unforeseen consequences. The story of Tom and Sarah is a typical example of this. Tom and Sarah had been together for many years, but recently they often argued over small things. One day, Tom felt misunderstood and immediately reacted by saying hurtful things. They were not only tense in that moment, but also caused a rift in their relationship for a long time. Emotions are an integral part of any relationship, but when uncontrolled, they can lead to unnecessary conflicts. According to the research of John Gottman, a renowned psychologist in relationship studies, strong emotions are the main cause of relationship breakdowns. However, if we can learn to manage our emotions, relationships can become stronger and more enduring. In moments of tension, instead of letting emotions take over, Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, can be a great tool to maintain calmness and understanding. Stoicism doesn't teach us to become indifferent, but rather to learn how to control our emotions, distinguish between what we can control and what we cannot, and respond wisely. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and famous Stoic philosopher, wrote in his book, Meditations, "We cannot choose what happens to us, but we can choose how we respond to it." This means that in stressful situations, instead of reacting impulsively to emotions, you can choose to face and respond more rationally and calmly. A notable example is the story of Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple. Jobs faced numerous failures and difficulties in his career, but he always maintained calm and looked for ways to learn from each failure. When he was fired from the very company he founded, instead of dwelling on feelings of hurt and anger, Jobs saw it as an opportunity to reinvent himself and explore new opportunities. Later, he returned and made Apple one of the most successful companies in the world. Stoicism teaches us that in every challenge, we cannot change the circumstances, but we can change how we respond. This is the true power of Stoicism in maintaining peace in relationships, even when emotions might make you lose your composure. When emotions run high in a relationship, one of the simplest yet most effective ways to stay calm is to pause and take a deep breath. This helps soothe emotions and gives you time to think before reacting. Just like in sports, where top athletes must remain alert under pressure, we too can learn how to control emotions to make better decisions. Imagine you're having a heated argument with your partner or close friend. Instead of responding immediately with anger, you can try taking a deep breath and spending a few seconds thinking about what you want to say. This not only helps you control your emotions, but also helps you respond more thoughtfully, avoiding hurting the other person. This practice might be difficult at first, but like any skill, it will become a habit with regular practice. Emotions are an essential part of relationships, but when left uncontrolled, they can easily cause rifts in your relationship. Stoicism teaches us that when facing challenges in a relationship, we don't need to react immediately. Instead, by pausing, controlling our emotions, and thinking carefully before acting, we can maintain inner peace and keep the relationship strong. In the next section, we will explore more Stoic principles and effective communication strategies to maintain peace in a relationship when strong emotions overwhelm. You will see that, no matter the situation, you can choose to react wisely and maintain harmony in your relationship. When our emotions are overwhelming, especially during stressful moments in a relationship, keeping calm can be a great challenge. However, there are several strategies you can apply to maintain peace, no matter how intense your emotions may be. Below are some ways to avoid being overwhelmed by emotions and always respond rationally and wisely. Practice deep breathing. Techniques. One of the simplest yet highly effective techniques to maintain calmness is deep breathing. When strong emotions arise, such as anger or hurt, stopping for a moment and taking deep breaths can help calm your mind and emotions. Deep breathing helps relax the body and reduce stress, which can help you think more clearly and avoid reacting hastily. A study from Harvard University showed that deep breathing can reduce cortisol levels, the stress hormone, and activate the body's relaxation response. Just a few seconds of deep breathing, focusing on your breath, will make you feel calmer and ready to face the situation without letting emotions take control. Practical example. In an argument with your partner, if you feel like you're about to lose control, take a moment to breathe deeply. This helps you pause and think about the appropriate way to respond, instead of just saying something that could hurt the other person. Practice waiting before reacting. 1. Important Stoic principle is not to react immediately to strong emotions. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, taught that we cannot control what others do, but we can control how we respond to them. In moments of intense emotion, try to wait a few seconds before reacting. When you're hurt, angry, or disappointed, take a moment to reconsider. This not only helps you avoid impulsive reactions, but also allows you to provide a more thoughtful and reasonable response. For example, when someone says something hurtful or doesn't understand you, instead of responding immediately with anger, pause and think, how can I respond to protect my feelings without hurting the other person? This will help you maintain calmness and keep the relationship from unnecessary arguments. 3. Apply the principle. Distinguish what we can control and what we cannot. One of the most important lessons from Stoicism is knowing the difference between what you can control and what you cannot. When facing difficulties in a relationship, it's easy to feel out of control, but the truth is, there's a lot outside your control. The key to maintaining peace in difficult situations is understanding that you can only control your actions and reactions. You cannot change another person's thoughts, feelings, or actions. However, you can change how you face the situation and how you react. Practical example. When you argue with your partner about a specific issue, ask yourself, am I trying to control how the other person thinks, or do I just need to control how I respond? Remember, not everything in a relationship can change, but you can choose your actions to keep the relationship healthy. Develop active listening skills. Effective communication is the most important factor in maintaining peace in any relationship. When emotions are strong, expressing your thoughts can be easy, but sometimes this can lead to unnecessary arguments. Active listening is a great strategy that helps you better understand the other person's emotions and give appropriate feedback. Listening is not just about hearing words, it's about understanding the other person's feelings and needs. So, you can respond thoughtfully. When you listen actively, you not only help the other person feel respected, but also reduce misunderstandings. Practical example: if you're arguing with your partner about something, instead of immediately countering their point, try saying, "I understand that you feel this way. Can you explain more about how you're feeling?" When you listen actively, you can resolve conflicts more intelligently and calmly. Maintain an optimistic perspective. View challenges as opportunities. Difficulties and conflicts in relationships are inevitable. However, Stoicism teaches that instead of seeing difficulties as something negative, you can view them as an opportunity to learn and grow. Each challenge in a relationship not only makes you stronger, but also helps you understand each other better. Seneca once said, "Difficulties are an opportunity to strengthen oneself." Instead of feeling discouraged or disappointed, consider challenges as opportunities to improve yourself and your relationship. Example: when facing a major argument in a relationship, instead of just viewing it as a challenge, ask yourself, can this help me understand the other person better? What can I learn from this situation to help us become closer? In relationships, emotions can be the deciding factor between success and failure. However, by applying these strategies, deep breathing, controlling your reactions, active listening, and viewing difficulties as opportunities, you will be able to maintain peace even when emotions are running high. Calmness not only protects you but also helps build a stronger, more solid relationship. In the next section, we will explore more ways to communicate effectively when emotions are overwhelming and how to maintain understanding in long-lasting relationships. Effective communication. The key to maintaining peace in relationships. When emotions start to take over in a relationship, communication can become a major challenge. Often, we tend to say things we might later regret, especially when we feel hurt. But communication is the most important factor in maintaining peace and building a strong relationship. Stoicism advises us to practice patience and active listening in every conversation instead of merely reacting to emotions. When you can, communicate wisely and thoughtfully. You will be able to resolve any conflict without hurting others or yourself. Active listening. Not just hearing, but understanding. Active listening is one of the most important communication skills, especially when emotions are running high. To maintain peace in a relationship, you need to understand the other person's emotions and thoughts, rather than rushing to refute what they're saying. John Gottman, a renowned relationship researcher, pointed out, active listening is the key to helping couples resolve conflicts effectively. When you listen actively, you not only make the other person feel understood, but also help your relationship stay harmonious, preventing unnecessary conflicts. Practical example: when your partner expresses feeling hurt because you haven't spent enough time with them, instead of immediately defending yourself, take a moment to listen and understand. You might say, "I understand that you feel sad when I don't spend enough time with you. Please let me know how I can do better." Listening is not about agreeing with everything. It's about understanding the other person's feelings and making them feel respected. Use positive and constructive language. One of the important aspects of effective communication is using positive language. In times of tension, words can have a powerful impact. If you use negative language, it can make the conversation more tense and drive the relationship into a deadlock. Stoicism emphasizes that we should use words to build, not to destroy. When emotions take over, instead of criticizing or rebutting, use constructive language to address the issue. Example: instead of saying, "You always disappoint me," you could say, "I feel sad when this happens, and I would like us to discuss how we can improve things together." This way, you not only avoid hurting the other person, but also create an opportunity for a constructive conversation that helps the relationship grow. Practice I statements. An effective way to communicate in tense situations is by using I statements. This technique helps you express your feelings clearly and honestly, without blaming the other person. Instead of saying, "You make me angry," you can say, "I feel angry because..." I statements help reduce defensiveness and resistance from the other person, since they don't place blame on anyone, but reflect your own feelings. This creates a safe space for the other person to understand and not feel criticized. Example: instead of saying, "You never help me when I need it," you could say, "I feel exhausted when I have to do everything by myself, and I would like us to share the workload more." This is a respectful and effective way of communicating, helping both sides understand each other's feelings without creating conflict. Put yourself in the other person's shoes. Focus on understanding. One of the profound principles of Stoicism is understanding and being aware of the emotions of others. When you try to see things from the other person's perspective, you reduce misunderstandings and enhance understanding in the relationship. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, said, "The feelings of others are not something you can change, but you can change how you perceive them." Practicing understanding helps you manage emotions and handle situations more tactfully. Example: when the other person feels neglected or hurt, instead of reacting angrily, you could try putting yourself in their shoes and saying, "I understand that you feel this way. I'm sorry I didn't recognize your feelings, and I want to work with you to improve this." Maintain an optimistic spirit. View conflicts as opportunities for growth. In any relationship, conflict is unavoidable. However, instead of seeing it as an obstacle, consider it as an opportunity for growth and learning. Stoicism encourages us to embrace difficulties as an essential part of life and relationships. When you learn to resolve conflicts calmly, you not only address the issue, but also strengthen the relationship. Practical example: when you and your partner or close friend face a disagreement, instead of arguing about the issue, work together to find a solution. When you learn to work through difficulties, you'll find that each challenge is an opportunity for growth, and the relationship will become stronger. Effective communication is the key to maintaining peace in a relationship, especially when strong emotions might overshadow reason. Stoicism teaches us how to control our emotions, communicate wisely and thoughtfully, and as a result, strengthen our relationships. When you apply these strategies, from active listening, using positive language, to practicing I statements and understanding others, you will feel more confident in maintaining peace in your relationship. In the next section, we will explore how to resolve conflicts effectively and continue to develop the relationship despite the challenges. Certainly. Below is page 4, the conclusion and the call to action for the article, How to Maintain Peace in a Relationship When Emotions Overwhelm. This section will tie together all the strategies and advice, helping you apply them in real life while encouraging the reader to take action. Emotions can be an essential companion in every relationship, but when not controlled, they can become a dangerous enemy. Stoicism teaches us that peace is not something that comes from avoiding difficulties or challenges, but but from the ability to remain calm and rational in stressful situations. When emotions take over, we are quick to react impulsively, leading to undesirable consequences. However, if we know how to control and respond calmly, we can maintain harmony in our relationships and even make those relationships stronger. Stoicism encourages us to apply the principle of emotional control and to understand what can and cannot be changed. When you implement strategies like deep breathing, active listening, and positive communication, you will be able to maintain peace in situations where emotions are likely to take over. Your relationship will not only be protected from unnecessary conflicts, but can also grow stronger through each challenge. The important thing is that in every situation, you always have the power to control your emotions. Peace is not something you can find out there, but rather a choice you make every day in how you respond and communicate with those around you. If you found the strategies and principles in this article helpful, don't forget to like and comment to share your thoughts. Try applying these methods in your relationship and observe the changes. Can you maintain calm in stressful situations? Can you control your emotions and turn conflict into an opportunity to understand each other better? Share your story in the comments. I would love to hear about how you apply Stoicism and effective communication in your relationships. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to not miss the next videos about improving relationships and personal growth. Together, we will learn and grow every day. Finally, take some time to reflect on your relationship. When emotions overwhelm you, how will you choose to respond? Don't let emotions control you. Choose to respond calmly and wisely. When you master your emotions, you are also building a strong and lasting relationship. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you will apply these strategies to maintain peace in your relationships and become someone who can face challenges with strength and resilience. See you in the next video.